Have you ever heard the phrase that knowledge is power? It's not. It's not. So, knowledge is only potential power. And it's what you do with the knowledge that you acquire that makes it powerful or makes it useless, right? Hey, Jen. Hey, Joseph. Knowledge in and of itself is not power. You have to actually do something with it, right? You can know everything about anything and do nothing with it and have no power. It's no different than, someone who you see that has a wonderful body. They didn't get that body because they know how to work out, because they read about working out, because they talked about working out, because they went to a networking event with other people who were interested in working out. They got the body because they did the work to work out. And so just knowing something is not enough. And a lot of times that's what we do, right? We read these books and we watch these videos, we take these classes, especially for those of us who are entrepreneurs, and we're acquiring all of this knowledge about different tactics and tools and strategies. But so often we don't actually apply the knowledge that we learn. I mean, you could spend literally all day, every day, 7 days a week, attending webinar after webinar, paying for courses, doing all this stuff to get all of these things in your head. But if you don't actually do anything with it, you make no money, right? So what's powerful is learning what you need to know and then consistently doing it. And by consistently, I mean over and 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 over. Like, you don't get abs because you did a few crunches one time, right? You have to do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And even when you have you don't see anything for sometimes months, right? But you have to trust the process that if I continue doing this over and over and over and over and over again, I will get this result, because this is how you get abs. You do these workouts, and you're not born, right, knowing how to get abs. You get a personal trainer, or hey y'all. Hey Sista and Constance. Oh wow, a lot of you guys are watching. Hey, happy Friday. You don't get it because you were just born knowing it. Like, you have to go figure out, okay, I want to get abs. How do I get the abs? Who knows how to get abs? Who do I ask? How about a personal trainer? How about I go on YouTube and find some workout, or go buy some, do people still buy workout DVDs? I don't know. I guess there's so much streaming and stuff these days. But anyhow, so you figure out someone who has the information that you need, and then you learn it, but then you have to do it over and over and over again. And one of my mentors was just saying that it baffles her when someone will say they've read the book Think and Grow Rich, but they're still broke. And she said her argument is, if you've actually read and applied what you read in that book, there's no way that 6 months after reading and applying the principles of Think and Grow Rich that you can still be broke. And I'm like, wow, you know what? That's so true. Like, people, we read stuff and we're like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's great. And you might get pumped about it for a little while, but then that's it, right? You have to start living it, even with, the Bible, right? You can't just like read it and be like, oh, that's a powerful scripture. Oh, I felt that. Oh, I got that. And then that's it, right? You got to memorize it. You got to call it out when you need it. You have to live it over and over and over and over every single day. And so there are some books that I do read over and over, or listen to. I do a lot of audiobooks that I listen to. And Think and Grow Rich is one of them. The Power of Positive Thinking is a great one. There's another book that I've read, this one here. It's a really quick read. One small step. Can you see this? It's a glare. One small step can change your life. So this book right here teaches you how to change habits. And it teaches you how to start off in such a small way that you bypass the resistance that your brain normally gives you. Because what we tend to want to do, right, is quit stuff cold turkey, try new stuff cold turkey, and like you throw your body into this state of resistance, right? Like, I don't want to go from sitting on the couch all day, every day, to working out 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. But if you say, well, when I get out of bed, I'm going to put on my tennis shoes. That's something simple. It's painless. You can do that without having to think too hard about it or experience any resistance. And so once you have on the tennis shoes and you get in the habit of just, when I wake up, I put on my tennis shoes. Well, once you have the tennis shoes on, then okay, now I have my shoes on, I might as well go ahead and go outside and walk. That's just an example, but this book is really a good read. One small step can change your life, and you can read it in like an hour or two. I got myself off track. I wasn't supposed to be talking about that book. Oh, just repetition, right? So the thoughts that you think over and over create what your life is going to be. The actions that you take over and over create what your life is going to be. And so it's just the accumulated repetition of the things you say, the things you do, the things you think. And so if right now you're not thinking in prosperous ways, if you're not thinking in ways that serve you, or if you're not doing things that are serving you in terms of helping you to get to where you're trying to go, you can always reprogram yourself and get into the habit of thinking different things. And so, yeah, knowledge, like I said, knowledge by itself is not power, but you can always choose to take the knowledge that you have and apply it consistently, and where the power comes from. There's a website called, I think it's called Tiny Habits. I'll have to find the actual website and I'll put it in the description here. But that's another way that you can start changing, because anything that you're doing now is a habit that you don't like, you can change it. But the cool thing about using tiny habits and small changes, like how that book talks about, is that it's easier to sustain change that way. And so there's a method called the Tiny Habits method, and there's actually a group you can join, and they help you learn how to do that. And so I just wanted to share that resource with anyone who is wanting to do some changes. Maybe you've tried to do some things differently, but you keep on falling back into your old habits. It's easier to focus on creating the habits that you want than it is to focus on breaking a bad habit, because what you focus on resisting or putting all that energy into what you don't want, sometimes it just makes it stronger. But if you just focus on building what you want, that's the easiest way to sustain change. And so tiny habits are a really cool way to do that. And I'll share the link for that in the description of this video. That is all that I have for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.